Is my screen visible, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can we have the quick revision of the last session? What we discussed last time? I guess we discussed the last point from unit number 9, and we started with the unit number 7, sorry, Java FX. Can anyone recall what we discussed last time? Quickly. So in the last session, we discussed about Java FX, and we said the first technology of Java which was introduced with the GUI facility was AWT, and after that we had Swing. But AWT was having the space platform specific bug, and Swing was more dealing like a canvas painting on the screen, right? And because of that, the modern Reach UI GUI technology, which is enabling us to have the rich internet application, which is Java FX, was launched, right? And then we discuss about the basic structure of Java FX program, and we discuss how we can run the Java FX application. Along with that, we discussed that there is a class named as application, and we said with the application class we will have certain scene setup, and we'll add a node in it, right? So scene is the one which is being displayed on the screen, and the entire thing is being displayed as a stage, and stage object is a window, and the stage is having various state. From that, the primary stage is created when you are adding the component to your application. And then we have seen this diagram. We said that we will have stage as a window, in that we will set up this scene, and then we'll have the parent node, that is the pan or control, and inside that we will have different nodes such as the text box or button or radio button, whatsoever we want, right? So now we are moving further, and we are discussing about the pans and UI controls. So when I say pans and other UI controls and shapes which are available in the Java FX, basically all these are the nodes. We call it as a node. You see here, we call it as a node, the inner part, right? It's the very basic or the smallest element of your GUI, which we call the node. So nodes without container, if you're applying, then it will occupy the entire window, and that's why we always do not go for the direct placement of the node over the window, right? So in your scene, what you're doing is you are adding some pan or control, right? And inside that you will put the nodes such as the image or any shape or any UI control such as button or radio button or list or menu, whatever we want, right? So when we are keeping a node which is without any container or without any uh, pan or control, at that time we will have the occupant of entire window over the screen. So the better approach is always to use the container class, and these type of container class are known as pans, right? So there are various types of pans which are available. So today we are going to discuss that. And when we use a pan, and if you recall, we have used the grid pan in our tic-tac-toe game, and we have used the um, you can say a stack pan in the circle changing program, right? So there are various types of pans available, and when we are using the pans, pan will allow you to have the automatic layout or how or where the nodes will be placed, right? So based on the location and size, whatever is the desired location and size, that will be depending on the type of pan we have used. Fine. So usually when we say node, node is any visual component which you can see on the screen, right? Whatever software we are using, we see various buttons, we see various text, we see various menu, we see various list, we see various images. So all these are the visual components, right? So what we will do is, what is node basically? So node can be a shape or image or any UI control, or even a pan is also known as a node. Fine. And when I say shape, shape refers to text, line, circle, ellipse, rectangle, arc, polygon, polyline. All these are the shapes, right? And sorry, text won't come here because we are talking about shapes, right? So we'll have line, circle, all the geometric uh, shapes we are talking about. So we will have shapes as line, circle, ellipse, rectangle, arc, polygon, polyline. All the geometric shapes are there, which is referring as a shape. And we have UI control, user interface control, such as we can give a label, enter name, right? So this is a label. We are just informing, enter a name, right? And then we can take a text field, a text box, right? Sometime you want to go for username or username. At that time you can go with the text field, but at times you want to go for a long paragraph, so you can go with the text area. Fine. As well, you want to give certain buttons. You want to give a check box, a square box, and then you can click and do a tick mark, then a radio button, right? So all these are known as UI control, right? So we have pans to decide the layout of the nodes being placed. We have UI control such as labels, buttons, checkbox, radio button, text field, and text area. And we have shape such as line, color, line, circle, ellipse, rectangle, arc, polygon, and polyline. Fine. So now, if we talk about a pan, let us see an example. Here is an example of a stack pan and a button. So what we will do is, we always will write the setup in the start stage. This we have done in our practicals of the lab also. What we did is public void start, and we have taken the stage which is primary stage. Primary stage is the first stage, right? So now what we want to do is, we want to take a button. So to take a button, first we need a layout. Otherwise, your button will cover entire scene, right? It will be covering the entire window, because we said scene is an entire window. So if you are not taking a pan, it will be, your button will be given to entire window. And to avoid that, we are taking a pan layout, where to place the button, that we are deciding. So over here we have taken a stack pan. We said object name. Here it could be any object name. You can give P, SP, P1, whatever you want to give. So we have given the name pan. We said stack pan, pan is equal to new pan. This is object of a pan is created. Once the object is available, now we can add the node. You see here, parent is this entire pan, and inside the parent, which could be a pan or control, we can add nodes. So our next node is button. Fine. So we will add this node into the pan. So what we have to do is, pan is the parent. So we'll say pan dot get children. What we'll say is pan dot get children. We say dot add. What you want to add is new button, and we gave the label of the button in the double quote, right? So this will create a button with the label OK, right? The button label is right now OK. Then we're creating a scene. Scene is a window which is being displayed when you run the program. So we said scene as capital, and this is the object name. You can give any name, like a variable, any valid name you can give over here. We said scene is equal to new scene, and we say pan, comma, 200, comma, 50. So with the height and width 20 and 50, it will display your scene, your pan entirely, right? And pan is containing the button. Now, we have to, this is optional. If you want to set the title of your pan being displayed, you can give primary stage dot set title, and you can give a title, button in a pan or whatever. Once everything is set, like a title and pen is containing button, you want to set this thing. So we will go with the set scene method, which is belonging to primary stage, which is belonging to stage class, right? So stage class, we created an object, primary stage. So over here we'll say primary stage dot set scene, and we are giving that object entirely. So when you are giving this object entirely, basically you are giving pen with the height and width 250 and a button with the OK label, right? So everything is getting set. So we say primary stage dot set scene dot scene, right? So this is the object which represent everything. And finally, we have to display on the screen. So we say the primary stage dot show. Fine. Is it clear? Any question, any doubt? Anyone? Right? So we can add a circle also. Suppose I want to add a circle. So either I can go with, there are various, way to create a circle. Over here, we have taken a pan equal to new pan, and we say pen dot get children. Sorry, first we have taken a circle. What we have over here is, we have created a circle. We know that circle is a shape and it is available inside the shape class. So to use the circle, what we'll add is, we'll add java x dot scene dot shape dot circle, right? So it will add the circle over there. And now we are creating an object. C for the circle class is capital. We are creating an object with the small c, right? So circle is equal to new circle. This is default constructor. So there are various ways to define a circle. Either you can go with the default circle, which is going to give you only the circle object without any property, and then later you can set the properties. So circle class is having the property in center x and center y, as well as the radius. So you can use the setter method, right? So what we did is, we return over here circle dot set center x 100, circle dot set center y 100, and circle dot set radius 50, right? Suppose you don't want to go with this 3 line. If you don't want to go with this, you can just go with the another option. Instead of writing this, we can write only a single line, which is about, you can go with the circle and you can write the center x and y and radius as an argument, right? So this is parameterized constructor. I can write 100, 100, comma 50. If I'm going with this way, no need to write this 4 lines. Are you getting? Circle, circle, empty, then set center x, center y, and radius. If I don't want to go with this setup, I can go with the parameterized constructor. Fine? Fine? We say the circle dot set stroke color dot black. So the border of the circle will be black color, and we say the circle dot set fill color dot red. So now it will be given as a red color. Entire circle will be filled with the red color. Is it clear? Any question, any doubt up till now? Right? So once this is what we did, we are talking about pen and a circle. So right now our circle is ready. So circle is a child element, and we have set all the properties such as its x, y coordinate for the center, its radius for displaying the circle with the proper size, and then we set the stroke color and set fill. We have filled the color also inside the circle. Now circle with all its properties ready, but to display it on the screen, we have to take a pen. We have to take a pen. So what we have done is, we have taken pen is equal to new pen. So pen is another type. You can go with this also. And we created a scene object. Pen is equal to new pen, and then we added a circle to that pen by writing pen dot get children dot add circle. Right? Now we are creating a scene to place the stage and show. So we are writing scene is equal to new scene pen 200, 200. Primary stage dot set title, we say it show circle, right? And the entire scene we are setting in the primary stage. So we say the primary stage dot set scene and primary stage dot show. So usually this would be the common step. All this would be the common step. Based on the requirement of the layout, you can choose the appropriate pan, right? And before that, you have to take various shapes or UI control which you want for your program. And then you can add everything to a scene and you can set up a scene and you can just launch the application. Fine. Up till now, anybody having any doubt, any question? Any one of you? If you have query or doubt, raise your query. Anyone? Should I move forward? Guys, kindly acknowledge. Is there any doubt or any question? Am I audible properly? Am I audible properly? Yes or no? Okay, then just acknowledge. Are you getting the concept? Okay. So now we are talking about property binding. Now, what we said in the Java, we said Java is an object-oriented property, object-oriented language, right? Java is object-oriented programming language, right? And that's what your subject is, OOP1, right? Now, when Java is object-oriented programming, everything being given here is as a class object, right? As a class object. So whatever class we take, any class will take, those class will have certain property, right? Right? And let us say property 1, property 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? So it will have certain property and we will have certain methods, right? We'll have certain methods to access uh, the property of the class, right? Right? So usually the property of the data class is known as the data field and we have methods to access it. And usually we know that properties are the private data members and with the help of public methods we can access this property. Fine. Now when you are using Java FX, there are various built-in classes, right? There are various built-in classes and what you can do is you can bind a target object to the source object because various objects are having different property, and when you are having one object and you want to get it inside the another object, you can go with the property binding, right? For example, pan is an object and circle is also an object, right? So pan is having the size and similar way circle is also having the radius and x coordinate and y coordinate, and what you are going to do is you are going to put this circle, you are going to add it to the pan, right? So there are various ways through which a change a change in the source object will automatically reflect in the target object, right? If it is like that, we say that properties are hard binded with each other, right? So Java FX introduces a very new way to bind this property that enables your target object to be bound to a source object, right? And the target object is called binding object and a binding property, and the source object is called known as bindable object or observable object, right? So these are just a second name for the target object and binding object, right? So target object is called the binding object or binding property, and the source is known as the bindable or observable object, right? So if you have a certain object and if you let us say you have circle, right? Let us say you have circle. right? And if the source object changes, the target object also has to change automatically, right? For example, if I say circle and if I say pen, if I have circle and if I have pen, which one is the targeting of target object? Can you tell me which one is the binding object and or a target object, and which one is the bindable object or observable object? What we will see, what we said is, what we said is, right? We said that a change in the source object will automatically reflect in the target object. So source is pen. If I am changing pen dot width, pen dot width property to divide by 2, so I'm making the pen width half, right? At that time, we are going to change the circle center x position. Yes or no? Because what we have is, when we put a circle in a pen, right? Pen is having certain size, 200, 200 is the pen size. Now what I'm doing is, this pen size I am decreasing, right? So as the circle, I'm making it half, divide by 2. If the circle is inside the pen, obviously the x coordinate and y coordinate will change, right? So what we wrote over here is a circle dot center x property dot bind pen dot height property dot divide by 2. Similar way, for circle dot center y property dot bind pen dot height property dot divide by 2. Is it clear? Anyone having any doubt or any question? Are you getting the point? Fine. So this is called property binding. We have a source property and we have a target property. If target object and source object, if source object is changing its property, obviously the target object will be affected. Fine, right? So there are certain common properties which are available, common properties and methods available for the class. And if we look at the entire hierarchy available in Java FX, as we said, Java FX is a library to deal with or to use the circle and shapes and colors and UI controls in your application. There is a node class. There is an abstract node class which defines so many properties and methods that are common to all the objects, right? So we do have various styles which we can apply to the UI control. If you look at the example, I want you to focus on the last line. I want you to focus on the last line. What we have written is, we said circle dot set style dash fx dash stroke colon black dash fx dot feel. Over here fx is the Java FX technology, and when I say circle stroke, I'm talking about the circle's outline, the way we are drawing it, right? So the border of the circle, we said stroke is black, and we said minus fx dash fx dash fill red. So here it will set the style for the circle object by giving the black outline and filling the circle with the red color. Fine. So set style is the property of Java FX which is similar to your CSS. What is CSS? What is CSS? Anyone having idea about CSS? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by CSS? Yeah, what is its use? Through which saying cascading style sheet. What it does? It styles the web page, right? To HTML page, it will give the style. Fine. So your set style method also does the same. The way you have your HTML styles given by in a web page given by the CSS. Here the style properties in the Java FX are called by Java FX CSS. So this is CSS but for Java FX. Fine. So there is another property also, such as rotate. If you want to rotate a particular object to a given degree or angle, right? So you can do it, right? If the degree given in the rotate is positive, the object will be moved to the clockwise. But if the property is given in the argument is negative, in that case it will perform the counterclockwise operation. Fine. So rotate is a property which will specify an angle in the degree for rotating the node from its center. Fine. Is it clear, guys? Should I move forward? Should I move forward? Okay. So there's a class which we use in our circle color changing and text color changing, that is practical 19 and 20, which is named as the color class. What the color class do? Color class defines an abstract paint class for painting a node, right? Suppose you have taken a button or you have taken a circle and you want to give color to that particular node, right? You can use the Java class color, which is given in Java fx.scene.paint.color, right? So the Java fx.scene.paint.color is in a class which from which we can create an object, and that's why we said it's a subclass, concrete subclass of paint, right? Right. The color class can also be used to create the colors. Sometime you want to go with the new mixing color and you want to go with that, you can go with the color class. So here you can do the things with the colors. There are various color properties such as R, G and B, that is red, green and blue, right? And there's a property of the color which is known as opacity, right? So opacity will decide how your color will be looking like on the screen, right? So you can have the other methods also, such as bright, darker color. Over here color is taking 3 argument and returning us a double, and another color which is taking 1, 2, 3 and 4 argument. From that 3 is the color RGB and a fourth one is the capacity, right? So this is again a color method. Now we have one more method which is known as RGB comma integer, which will give us a value of red, green and blue. As well it will give us in int, in integer, the color value. Fine. Along with that, we have another variation of RGB, which is taking the integer amount of red, green and blue color and also specifying the opacity, right? So along with that, we have all the getter methods such as get color, get brighter, get darker, get color, get RGB. These all are the methods of the color class. Is it clear or any doubt? Is it clear? Okay, then we are moving ahead. So color is immutable class. What do you mean by immutable class? We have learned in the string also. What is immutable class? Anyone is recalling? You have to answer me, guys. Any one of you? Exactly, Dhruv. Immutable is not content, we will say object, right? Use the correct technical word. You are right. Your understanding is totally right. When I say particular class is immutable, it means that once the object is created, we can we cannot change its property, right? Right. So there are the color class is the immutable class. So once you are creating an object of the color class, you can't change the property. Whatever is the property available in the color class, it will be as it is, right? So there are many standard colors which are available, such as beige, black, blue, brown, cyan, dark gray, gold, gray, green, light gray, magenta, navy, orange, pink, red, silver, white, and yellow are defined as a constants in the color class. So you can't change this. These are the constants of the immutable class. Fine, fine. So along the way we have color class, we also have the font class. What font class describes? What font class describes? We know that each and every font is having certain properties, such as you can see on the notepad, we have font family, we have font style, and we have font size, right? These are the things available with the font. So in Java, we have font class, which describes the font name, weight, and size, right? Right. As well, we have you can set the fonts by rendering it on the side on the text. So the fonts are available in Java x.scene.text.font, right? And we can obtain a list of any available font family, right? You can see we have over here font families such as Cooper, Constania, we have Corbel, we have Courier, we have Courier New. So all those properties are all we can acquire. Fine. So that's the font name. Fine. So if we want to work with the color with the text font, we have to go with the javafx.scene.text.font, right? And this class is used to create the fonts, and fonts can be described using name, weight, posture, and size. There are various names such as Times Courier, Times New Roman, Arial, Arial Black, Cambria. These are the few of the example of font names, right? And you can available all the font family available in Java by the method get families. So there is getter method also. Fine. There's getter method also, right? As well, we have font posture, such as whether it's an italic or regular. This is called the posture. There are two constants for the posture of the font. We can say font posture dot italic and font posture dot regular, right? So regular by default it is regular, but if you want to go with the italic, you can change the property. Okay, right? So here is the example of the font class. Suppose I'm creating font one object. So we have taken font one is equal to new font, and you can just give the font family and the size. Fine. Here is the font two object created. Here we have given the font weight and font posture also, because these are the constant of your class. So what we wrote is for font two, we have font. We specified font family times New Roman, font dot with bold, so it will appear as a bold. Control B effect will be there. We have font position posture, right? So font posture could be either you say like italic or a regular, right? So over here we said font posture dot italic, so it will be given in italic, and we have 12, which is the size, right? Right. So here is the example two, right? You see here we have taken a label, right? So label is something which will display text on the screen. So we said label one equal to new label JavaFX. Now over this label we are applying all this thing. So how we will do that? Our object name is label, right? We'll say label dot sent font, set font, and we say font. We given a font family, font weight, and font posture and the size, right? And then ultimately, this is like you see over the label, you are calling the font. So label dot set font. So all these property will be set for this label which we are talking about, right? And you can use a pen. You say pen dot get children dot add label. Fine. Any question, any query up till now? Is it clear, everyone? Kindly acknowledge in the chat window. Just give me a second.
Guys, just 1 minute. I'm starting.
Okay, guys. So let us continue. So I was talking about font class, right? And we gave the two examples. These are the various ways by which you can give the font effect. Okay. Now we are going ahead and talking about all the methods available in the font class. So you can see this is font way with the constructor with the various arguments. So you can give font size in the tuple. You can give font name, which will give you the font family, Arial or Arial Black or Times New Roman, right? And this is the size of the font. Anika, suit. Guys, just give me a second. My daughter is not well. She's like vomiting so badly. So just give me 2-3 minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. Inconvenience is highly regretted, but she was not well, so I had to go for a few minutes. I hope you will not mind it. Are we connected? Okay. Okay. So we are moving ahead and we are discussing more about phone class. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We are back to the discussion. So we said the font class is having various methods, and we were discussing that there are constructor overloading. You can see here, font F is capital, and our class name is also font F capital. So there are various constructors available, right? So we can go with the font size. You can give only font size, and it will take the default name and all. Otherwise, you can go with the font name and size both. Fine, right? So there are two ways. Either you can go with the constructor, or there is a method with the F small, right? So this F capital is a constructor, and this is method, right? So we can have the F small, because we know Java is a case sensitive. That's why capital F and lowercase f are the distinct. They are different, and that's why when I'm using the capital F and size and double, I'm calling a constructor. But when I'm using the small f and giving the string name and size as an argument, it's a method. Fine. Along with that, we do have font name, weight, and size. This is the another method. So this is method overloading, right? We have three variation of the font method, right? Each of them is adding one more property. So first one is taking name and size. Third one is adding the font weight, right? Fourth one is adding the uh, font posture, right? That is italic or regular. Fine, fine. Okay, so these are the method overloading, and this is constructor overloading, which takes first one is taking only size, and second one is taking two argument, name and size of the font. Fine. Along with this constructors and methods, we do have one more method, which is get families, right? So it will give you the font family. We are aware that various fonts are lying into the different families. So if you want to see what are the supported family, it will return you an array list of string. This is array list. We have list string. So all the names of font families will be given. If you want to go with the font name, right, then you can go with the get font names, which is again will give you all the font names available with the Java font class, right? Apart from these methods, we also have various getter method. For example, if you have created a font object with certain size, and in certain code you want to get the size, so you can say get size, which will return you a double value. If you want to get a font name, you can say get name, right? Get font weight, get font posture, right? Get font weight. So all these are the getter methods which are available in the font class. Fine. Is there any doubt, any question, anybody? Are we getting everyone? Should I move forward? Okay. So now we are talking about image and image view. I guess we are aware with this, everybody. We have seen a partial solution, and Devarsh has emailed me the whole program. Devarsh, I have not checked it yet, but soon I will revert you, right? So we have already gone in the lab about image and image view. We have seen a TikTok game where I placed two images, which was for um, X and O. So these are the GIF images, right? And if I want to display it, I can go with the image and image view, right? So this is being displayed in a grid pan, right? And we do have x.gif and y.gif. This sorry, o.gif and x.gif, two images. When you are working like this, either you can give an absolute path to give the path, because when you will work with the image, you have to give the image path, right? So there are two classes uh, which is available in Java FX, from image and image view. From that, image represents a graphical image, right? We're talking about image, and whatever graphical image is available on your hard disk, you want to make it to available in your software. So we call it as an image view. With the help of image view class, you can display an image. Fine. Fine. So these two classes are available in Java fx.scene.image.I capital image and Java fx.scene.image.image view. So you can say image is the parent class for the capital I image class and image view class. Right? Right? Okay. So once we have an image object, from the image object we can create image view, because once we have image, then and then we can display it, right? So what we say, an image view can be created from an image object. Fine. So this is an example given, but I guess we will go directly with this example. So you see here, there are two ways. Either you can give a relative path of your image, or you can give a absolute path. To use the image and image view, you require the Java FX scene dot image and image view package. Fine. And now we have created a class, and inside the start, which is the method of your application class, we are overriding, and we are passing a stage as a primary object. We have taken two image objects. Can you see this? This is null. It means right now value is not given. We have just created the image. Fine? Image object. Now, we are giving which image is representing the image object 1. So for that, I have to open the image, right? And opening the image is like reading a file, because we know that ultimately my x and x.gif and o.gif are the files. So you can see here in a source, I have this thing. I have first.java, I have o.gif and x.gif, right? So these two are the files, image files, right? Right? Files is what? File is what? File is anything which represent the data. Right now it is presenting data in an image form, right? So anything which represents a data is known as the file. So right now we are talking about .gif, which is falling into the category of image. So what we did over here in the program is we created an empty image object from the image class. Fine. And now we are opening the file. So to open a file, we know that we have to read the file. And reading is happening with the help of file input stream. Yes or no? File input stream. Today, with the one batch, like all like two batches are done with that. We have run a program where we wrote 150 integers inside a file. In that case, you were writing content inside a file, and that's why you open file output stream. Now what you are doing is you are reading x.gif and o.gif. That's why you are just opening file in a read mode. So you said image 1 equal to new file input stream, because you want to read, and you have to give an entire path over here. Either you can go with the relative path or you can go with the absolute path, right? Both are fine. If you are giving if your file is in the same working directory, right, you can just give o.gif, x.gif. But if your file is somewhere else, my first.java is somewhere else, in that case I have to give the absolute path. Fine. So sometime it may be the case that your image may not open, that file is corrupted, or you're not able to read, or location is wrong, right? In that case, when you are creating a image object, when you are initializing, you are giving value inside the image object, you have to put it in a try catch block, because this is the block which probably have runtime error. And we know that runtime errors are handled with the try and exception handling, and try and catch is the one way to handle those kind of errors. So here we have a catch block in case if we are not able to open the x.gif or o.gif, we said catch file not found exception. We are representing that error in the object ex, and we printed a message system.out.println image not found. In case if everything is fine, your try block will be executed and then it will go here. Right now we have value inside the image 1 and image 2. Image 1 and image 2 are our object. So if we want to display it, you have to go with the image view, right? So what we wrote is image view 1 equal to new image view, which is representing image 1 object, right? So as we said in the slide that your image view is created from image object. So over here image 1 is our object, and we are creating image view object from the image object. Fine. Fine. Similar way we did it for image 2. And now for view 1 and view 2, you can just set the height and width. You can set x and y coordinate for the image view, and once it is done, you can put it them in a grid pan and you can display those views, right? And finally we are setting up the scene, and we are just creating a stage and we are setting the title, say stage.set title, and finally we set the scene, we display it, and we launch the application. Fine. Is it clear? Is it clear, everybody? Any doubt, any question? So when I run this, it will give me this output, right? Okay. Any question, any doubt, anyone? So this is about your image and image view, right? Okay, next time we'll go in the detail about the pans, layout pans. What is pan, stack pan, flow pan, grid pan, border pan, H box and V box, right? Next time we'll do that. So it will be catch, Rishabh. If we delete the file, do you know, we discuss in unit number 6 that runtime errors are handled using the exception, and that's why we have try and catch block. Suppose you are running the program and meanwhile the file is deleted, right? Meanwhile the file is deleted. If file is being combined at the runtime, then it will be catch in the exception E. And suppose when you are compiling and at that time file is not there, so it will give you in the compilation error itself, right? So in both the cases, like, it will be fine. It will be message or prompt soon in the output, right? Either as an exception, or if you are compiling without file availability, then it will give you the compilation error, compile time error. Okay, so that's it from my end today. Any further doubt? It's a very good question, Rishabh. Keep on asking question, everybody. So if we recall today's session, what we learn? We learn about image and image view. We learn about font class. We learn about color class, right? And we learn about what are the common properties and methods available for the nodes. Fine. So this is the discussion of today. Anyone else having any doubt? Okay, then we'll stop here.